Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we continue our coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. This date, February 14th, 2022. On one quick side note, I will be releasing a new Ukraine-Russia update today. I did not release one yesterday. My apologies on that. And soon after the release of the current news and information about the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia, obviously, I will conduct further content in terms of what's happening in Ukraine. But first and foremost, we continue to see fighting again in the former state of Ethiopia. First and foremost, we're going to have a look at the Oromo Liberation Army, and is the OLA actually instituting a Anaconda strategy against the Abiy loyalist government in Addis Ababa, also known as Fano. We continue to hear about a variety of road networks in arterial roadways outside of Addis Ababa that are under the control of the Oromo Liberation Army. And in fact, it is very, very difficult for the Abiy loyalist forces, mainly the army forces, the federal police forces, to operate west of Addis Ababa along the A4 highway, especially as you go towards western Oromia. Furthermore, we continue to hear about OLA operations in the south of the country. It would appear that the OLA operates while not completely constricting the vital Kenya to Addis Ababa main highway. The OLA may have, in fact, the capability to sever the main roadway leading from Kenya up towards Addis Ababa. And we continue to see the OLA operating both to the west and east of this vital road junction. So again, if you were to head north from Kenya along this main arterial route into the former state of Ethiopia, you would, if you were to veer left and head deeper into Guji zone over in this area, you would in fact see that the OLA controls large areas of this area to the west of that main arterial highway into the former state of Ethiopia. And again, we could see at a point in the not too distant future where the main road is in fact severed, and quite possibly permanently at some point. Again, the fighting that is taking place between the Oromo Liberation Army and the Abiy loyalist formations out in and outside of Addis Ababa, again, are just simply not being reported on as much as they probably should be. Right now, the fighting in terms of the intensity between elements of the OLA and the Abiy loyalist formations throughout the Oromia region right now is at a higher rate of intensity as opposed to some of the fighting we've seen even in the Afar region and some of the fighting that continues to take place in the Western Tigray region as well. So again, the level of fighting right now between the OLA and the Abiy loyalist formations are probably of a greater intensity than some of the fighting we see right now, at least right now, in terms of the TDF and those Abiy loyalist and Amhara regional militia groups. And I talked about also that we continue to see the Amharan regional government, and especially Fano, really starting to prepare for the breakup of the country. And we continue to see the deployment and training of Fano militias. And what we believe at MFAN, we believe that the Amhara region is really watching closely what is happening in the Oromia region. And then they see the level of conflict that is taking place inside of the Oromia region, the continued fighting between the Abiy loyalist and the Oromo Liberation Army. They see the expansion of the Oromo Liberation Army, and they also probably have come to the decision that the Abiy loyalist government in its current form of trying to control all of the former state of Ethiopia is simply not sustainable. So again, we're seeing more and more of the Abiy loyalist government really kind of acting as a city-state, locally controlling Addis Ababa and obviously some other areas as well. But again, we're starting to see a lot of these regions now preparing for a much less powerful centralized government, or the possibility of a much less powerful centralized government in the form of the Abiy loyalist formations. And again, the sheer size and buildup of a lot of these regional forces that at times are in opposition and in fact engage in hostilities towards the Abiy loyalist forces such as Fano. We continue to see at least the intelligence services of the Abiy loyalist government is definitely in opposition to the expansion of Fano and actually wants to curtail Fano in some aspects. But again, that is a very difficult proposition at this point. The toothpaste has been left out of the toothpaste container, and again, very difficult to get that back in, and that is in terms of what has happened with Fano. We continue to hear about fighting going on in the Afar region, and we think we now have an idea of what has created this misconception of a Tigrayan Defense Force drive towards areas such as the Djibouti Addis Ababa main highway, the possibility of the Tigrayan Defense Forces moving towards Samara, and then obviously the TDF moving towards Mille. In fact, we do not believe, again, these are TDF units that are fighting. What we understand now is that we are seeing some sort of conflict between the Afar regional government and the Afar regional special police forces and localized Afar regional militias actually engaging and fighting the Abiy loyalist government in certain situations. Again, a lot of individuals in the Afar region were prompted to join these Afar regional militias and then press a operation towards the Tigray border. And as we know, the TDF, the Tigray Defense Forces, have since launched a security operation, in some cases going fairly deep into the Afar region. And a lot of these Afar regional militia units that were driven back and have retreated have requested the support of the actual Abiy loyalist or federal forces, and they're simply not responding to that call as of now, and that is creating a sorts of tension between the Afar regional government, some of these militia units, some of these Afar regional militia units, and the ENDF, also known as the Abiy loyalist formations. And again, we can confirm there has been a multitude of engagements between disgruntled Afar regional militias and the Abiy loyalist formations, both just in terms of being disgruntled and attempting to seize weapons and equipment from the Abiy loyalist formations. And again, so what you have is these Afar regional militias still attempting to engage and fight the TDF, and at the same time are seeking items to fight the TDF with. So they try to apprehend these weapons and equipment from the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, and that continues in the Afar region. And we believe that has caused some of the misconception that the TDF is in fact progressing towards Samara, Mille, and some other areas, when in fact it is more of a localized operation along the Afar Tigray regional border. Again, that operation has for the most part, has been completed in terms of its objectives, mainly destroying Afar regional militia units near Abala, seizing control of Abala, and then moving in the north towards Berhale and other areas near Berhale as well, and again focusing on the destruction of those Afar regional militia forces. So again, that is the synopsis for today. Again, we continue to see fighting in a variety of areas. Again, the fighting that is taking place inside of the Oromia region, vastly underreported, and in fact, the OLA is probably making some fairly significant gains, especially in the western and in some cases the southern Oromia region as we speak. We'll continue to cover what is happening and more content very soon. Have a good day, everybody.